for an act to amend 27(2) and 4B and allied matters, Chapter C20, the Federation of Nigeria 2000. Honorable members will recall it was read for the first time on 2016. Invite Honorable Sadiq. The bill will be now read a second. Just
I move that the bill section 2A and B of the Constitution Chapter 20 of the Federation of Nigeria be read for the second time. Speaker.
Carried I'm from Kogi State, by federal constituency. I hereby bill be read for the second time. That the bill will be read for the second time.
This is a but long enough to cover 20 years ago. The Allied Matters Act was in 1990. The Corporate Affairs Committee and charged it to function administering the act, regulation, supervision of formation of companies, administration, management, and winding up of companies in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, 26 years later, today there are many sections in that act that needs to be amended, to remodel, to bring it in tandem with the international best practices. And Mr. Speaker, this House has approved your legislative agenda, in which we agree that some obsolete laws and laws that do not recognize the changing times need to be removed from our statute books so that Nigeria can equate itself with nations that have moved forward in terms of ease of doing business. It is in this respect, Mr. Speaker, that I have recognized and brought out this section, which is section 27, subsection 2A and B of KAMA, which needs to be amended. And with your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read section 27 2A. It says, the memorandum shall also state the amount of authorized share capital not being less than 10,000 naira in the case of a private company and 500,000 naira in the case of a public company with which the company proposes to be registered, and the division thereof into shares of a fixed amount. Mr. Speaker, there is also another section, 9999 subsection 1, which requires that not less than 20% of the share of every company must be issued and taken up if the company will be registered. In effect, Mr. Speaker, if you look at these provisions, 25% of 10,000 naira or 500,000 naira, as the case may be in the case of private and public limited liability companies, we are talking about only 2,500 naira worth of shares for a private company and 20,000 naira worth of shares in the case of public company for it to be incorporated in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the intention here is to clean up, as I said, our statute books and delete obsolete laws and laws that are not realistic in view of the changing times in the world. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, 27(4)B, which prescribed a contribution of 10,000 naira by the member of a company limited by guarantee in the event of the company's winding up with outstanding undischarged liabilities, also have the same effect. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, like other regulatory bodies like CBN, SEC, NICOM, and PENCOM, has to be retooled by this amendment so that capital adequacy, as prescribed in these sections, have to be changed so that the two issues of the capital adequacy requirement and the fact that Corporate Affairs Commission having been given the power to increase the requirement for capital adequacy needs to be taken into consideration. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, if this House agrees, which I believe you will, the new bill, that is the amendment bill, will read as such. Be it enacted, the new section 27(2)(ab will read as follows. The memorandum shall also state the amount of authorized share capital with which the company proposes to be registered and the division of the shares of fixed amount, provided, that's what I'm adding, Mr. Speaker, that the authorized share capital should not be less than the amount which the Commission from the time prescribed for public and but the corporation will now be empowered to, on our currency and the world, the requirement of capital adequacy for any company to be registered. Otherwise, we will end up shares of 250 naira only, 500 naira only, or 50,000 naira only for.
Order, please, honorable colleagues.
Speaker, section 27(4)(b altered also to read, we delete 10 and insert this clause amount as shall be by the Commission. By doing so, Mr. Power the Commission change the amount registered by a private or public limited liability company to be able to do business in Nigeria, to pay tax, to employ people, not by this legal package that will give the companies that will issue 2,500 shares and stay in business in Nigeria. That's any sense of seriousness on our part for companies who may even go abroad outside this country to register as entities. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.